morning and welcome back to 501c TV. I'm your host, Janelle Harris. This is the podcast that talks to thought leaders, system change leaders, nonprofits, and nonprofit partners to find out what is new with moving their mission forward. And this morning I have with me Linda Borgmeyer with the Wisdom Warrior Challenge. You guys, this is really a cool and unique idea. I've never heard of anything like this. So we hope you'll stick around and learn all about it. So welcome and good morning,
Thank you so
Linda.
much for having me.
So where do we start here? How let's talk about what this is, what your background is, and how you started this amazing initiative, which I think is so cool.
Thank you. I am an occupational therapist, so I do therapy for seniors in the home with my day job. And we noticed that we were telling people, like, you got to get up, you got to keep moving, especially during pandemic, which is when I started my practice.
Okay.
Private. I left specifically because I knew they were sitting.
Wow.
And so I partnered with some docs and went out, and I was saying, you got to keep moving. You know, it doesn't mean you have to sit still. You just have to stay in your house.
Right.
You could use your house as an exercise venue. And they just didn't have anything. They really didn't have anything. So I had already started thinking about the Wisdom Warrior, talking about the Wisdom Warrior. And then when the pandemic hit, we were supposed to have one big track event, and the pandemic hit, and all bets were off.
Interesting.
So we reimagined it. We waited a couple months thinking it would go away.
Yeah.
It didn't. We waited. Waiting. Still waiting. And we had 3 communities left that had signed up, local community, senior communities.
Okay.
We had about 100 athletes, and we just hosted it at their community so they could, you know, we could let them out of the box at one at a time, keep them 6 feet apart, and do the whole race.
Crazy.
And there were so many things that came out of that I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought, okay, I'm going to give you a target. Like, you're exercising and you're out there walking because we have this event to do.
Sure.
But what ended up happening, social connection. They walked with each other. They had a purpose together as a community. They were fighting for the Wisdom Cup, which is this ridiculously large cup that, I mean, I'm like, oh, here's your cup.
I feel like we need a picture of this and like really flash it up and like edit that in.
It's one of my favorite things. We call it the Wisdom Cup. And so they were, you know, competing for that against these other communities. But locally, they were recognized. So say we have a senior community, it was 50 meters all the way up to a mile. So
wow.
50, 100, 200, and we had great tracks that we just set up in their community in the parking lot. It didn't matter. So actually, some have been done in houses, and that was in 2020.
And now, do they do it all at the same time? So is there like a specific day?
No, they can pick whatever day works for them.
Stop. That's so cool.
They can pick whatever day works for them. What I asked the communities to do, this year we already have 22 communities signed up, and we have North Carolina. I got a call from Nebraska and Maryland. Everybody's ready.
Seriously?
Yes. And
so we are like we are like beyond Palm Beach County.
I am now a national event. Thank you very
Linda's
much.
national, people.
I'm national.
That's amazing.
All I needed was one state to become national. But you know,
great.
It kept people moving. So from 2020 to 2022, when I had the second one, which we just did, we had over 1,000 athletes. We had 18 different communities.
Oh my gosh.
And I was flying all around to do the talk to get everybody all geared up for it.
Yeah.
And really what the end result of it is, I gave them back some permissions to take over their health. I said, listen, number one cause of death is heart problems.
Right.
Heart problems can be caused by diet, inactivity, all of those things.
Sure.
But we have control over that. We already know that exercise absolutely helps your brain health, it helps your body, helps diabetes, you know, cancer risk, everything. So that came out of it. Then now they were like, okay, and once you do that, if you watch the video when they cross the finish line, there's one video of the lady, good friend, Annie, and she crossed the finish line, she goes, I did it! And I thought, yeah.
You did.
Yeah, because the narrative around aging is not very flattering.
Well, and you know, one thing that I thought was interesting, I love your website, by the way. I checked everything out, and your social media is actually really cool too. So make sure everyone that you follow Wisdom Warrior Challenge, because this concept to me, like when I knew you were coming on the show, I was like, this is so cool because first of all, we're in Florida. So our population, we have the largest aging population all around us. And one thing that I found interesting on your website was all of the research, which I want you to talk a little bit about that, but the research on the amazing ability for the body to regain strength.
Oh, yeah.
So just because you might have been in a, sedentary lifestyle for a number of years, let's say, maybe you had an illness and you weren't feeling well, the ability for your body to like relearn to be active and get healthy again, there's no time frame on that.
There is no time frame.
It could be today, and you could start, and you will inherently see something good happen to your body in a positive way.
Yeah, actually, the worse off you are health-wise, the bigger the gain. The
bigger the gain,
right? Because you're going from ground zero. So that was another thing that was, and I can change somebody's body, but changing their mind,
right,
is the bigger deal, right? So there's so much narrative around aging and ageism, and AARP is one of our big sponsors.
Yes.
So they were like, oh, this is phenomenal.
This is right up our alley.
Because they're not elite athletes. Some of them have never even been in a race.
Right.
And so we just bring them from the ground up, and it's very easy. The training is walk fast for 30 seconds, walk slow for a minute, do the distance you want to do, and then slowly you're going to reduce the amount of time that you're resting.
Sure.
And we just saw unbelievable gains. The science is absolutely there, but you got to do enough of a load. So if you're doing like arm strengthening and you've got a 1 pound weight and I can do 30 of it, you're not doing anything.
Right.
That is just endurance for the muscle. It has nothing to do. It has to be, and I'll tell you because I have a kinesiology background too, 5 reps. When you do that exercise, you could only do 5. By the time you get to the 5th one, you're like,
yeah.
And you do 3 rounds. That's it.
That's it.
That's your strength builder, and it absolutely has proven to be effective.
So do you give them a roadmap to follow as far as like training?
Yeah.
Okay, let's back up. So I'm in a 55 up community, and I meet Linda and I say, this is awesome. Everyone in my community would love this, which I have to tell you, the community my parents live in, these are some competitive people.
They're very competitive.
They're so competitive.
Yeah, people
with
like,
anything.
Older people don't care. Yeah, we do.
They do.
I'm 59.
Yeah.
I care.
They care, and they want to be the best. So I'm immediately thinking of them. I'm like, if their community needs to do this. But so a community contacts you, and they say, yes, we want to do this. We want to be involved. This is awesome. What happens next?
So they contact me, and I talk. Typically, you'll have like an activities director or somebody on campus. So I connect with the activities director and the executive director because it's a community event.
Sure.
So even if they're not participating, we need cheerleaders and all of that around. And we give them the roadmap. This is how you're going to start this.
Okay.
And we're really making a solid 90-day transformation. So we've added that. So we're gonna have videos and things for them to get together. Watch the video on nutrition, stress management. Stress management is like huge right now, right? Huge. Every patient I have that I go out and see, they're stressed out. They're actually stressed out about their kids. Like they're worried about their kid. I'm like, the kid is 65.
Right?
Like, oh, no. You're 90.
They're always your kid.
I know.
Never stop worrying.
I've got 4. So they get a nice roadmap, a nice transformation. We're going to have them. The team and I were working on it. I said, I want at least one inspirational video to be played on campus.
Perfect. Yeah.
On their campus. A lot of them will have their own TV channel, but just even get together in the media room.
Sure.
To keep you pumped because it's getting over that thing. I can't do this.
Right.
So I have a lot of videos that I share. One is of a 100-year-old woman that never even started running until she runs. Till she was 100. She lived to 105.
Stop, you guys.
Hurricane Hawkins in Louisiana. I called her up in 2020 because I wanted to fly her down here to do it with us because that was an objection I was meeting. I never ran in my day of my life, either to Hurricane Hawkins.
Yeah. And how do you
can't argue that.
You cannot argue that.
If one person can do it, it can be done.
Totally.
So I talked to her, and she was so cute. I was like, felt like I was watched so many YouTube videos. I was like, oh my God, she's like unbelievable. And she picked up the phone and she said, hello. And I told her what I wanted her to do. She goes, you're going to have to talk to my daughter. I call up the daughter who's like almost 80. She's like, oh my God, this woman's going to run me into the ground. Let me look at the calendar. I'm sorry. She's got something scheduled that day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This is awesome. But she lived to be 105.
Wow.
And she ran a race just months before she passed away. She kept living until she died. And that's what we have to do. What
that's
I'm
amazing.
Seeing all the time is people are dying well before, I'm too old to do that. I just go to sit here.
And it's the
all
mindset.
in the head.
Yes.
It's all in the head. We have so many more centenarians now than we ever did. We had 4 centenarians, people 100 plus. One was 103 that participated in the event last year.
That's amazing.
Or this year, I should say. It's 2023 still. I'm already working on 2024.
I know. She's a mover and shaker, people.
Yeah,
we got this. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very simple. You get all of the tools. So you tell me that's what you're going to do. I give you the 90-day transformation. I hook you up with, and we'll have a YouTube channel that they can just click into. I'm trying to get some extra things for our athletes, some extra perks that once they register, they'll get access to some free things. Like it's for stress management, like maybe the Calm app. Just throwing that out there, Calm. You don't know.
Get in touch with Linda.
Hey, that's how I got AARP. We're riding back on the...
If you don't ask.
I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if AARP, was our sponsor? Big. And they were.
Sure
in
enough.
2020, they were, and then they came back. They're great.
That's
they love
so
it.
amazing.
They love it. But anyway, so you get everything. So on the day of the event, I send a timer. We have Southern Timing, awesome guy. He does it for us. He does all the big ones. I'm like, this is little. This is like 100 people, or in some cases it's only 50 in some of the ALFs, because we have ALFs, assisted living facilities, memory care, 55 plus, and senior communities.
So any of those communities can qualify.
And actually
for
we
this.
have one event that's going to be either held at Jupiter or another location, a track event, that Home Sweet Home, which was the second place winner, little tiny residential assisted living, won the second place nationally because he rented a track and everybody came. But anyway,
this is like big time bragging rights.
I know.
I could
really
see.
Is.
I mean,
if I was him, I'd be telling everybody, yeah, we're second place nationally.
Right?
He beat out 18 other communities.
That's crazy.
For second place. But anyway, so you get medals. So on the day of the event, after you do your event there at your community, you get first, second, and third. That's a beautiful day.
Awesome.
You just smiles are just falling off of people's faces. They're just so excited, and some of them have more than one. So they get all of that. They get banners. We have our partners in the community, which we really need. This is all free for communities and seniors. I don't want anything to stop them from doing it, and they're saving that $25 for their kids. So I need to make it free.
That was my question. I was wondering if there was like a sign-up fee or any type of admin cost for the community to do it.
We had such a great community here in Palm Beach County, and now we're in Broward County as well, that just threw money at them, and said, yes, go for it.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that age demographic is very loyal. If you support me, I'm going to support you. If I need something, that you provide, I'm going to go to you first because you were there for me.
Correct. And I also feel like that demographic, speaking just for my parents and other parents that I know, they have the time to do the research. So if they see a name and they know that company or organization supported them, they will go on and they will look and they will do their research, and they'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And if the price is good, then
perfect.
They do it. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
So that's a huge thing. So if there's anybody watching that can be involved as a sponsor, there's big things involved with that. How would they get in touch if I'm a sponsor?
So you can contact me at wisdomwarriorchallenge@gmail.
Okay.
And that goes directly to me.
Perfect.
Because when it's a volunteer, I do have a partner, Tiffany, and my daughter is also, she handles all the finances and stuff. But Tiffany DuPoni has been the chairperson for the last couple years, and she's phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
I've seen Tiffany's name.
Oh, yeah. Tiffany's been around. She does Social Savvy Seniors.
Okay. Yes. I'm like, I know that name. Tiffany. I think I'm on her newsletter.
I think you are.
I get her emails. Yes. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So, and this just was started, we're talking just a few years ago.
Yeah. So I started it in 2019. We were supposed to have our event in 2020,
Crazy.
and that's what happened. And then we waited.
Yes.
And then I started getting calls from the athletes because
they want to do it.
When's our next one? I'm like, well, I'm waiting for COVID to go away. And then I was like, yeah, it's not going. So in 2023, I said, okay, I'm not waiting anymore.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep the format. We will have options. Like I was telling you, that one community did a track event, so anybody from outside the community could join his team, which is how he did it. 100 people.
That is so cool.
Joined the Home Sweet Home team, and they took second place. So I was trying to get people that were just living in their homes. They didn't have to be in a 55 plus just to find a team. And most of the 55 plus communities and senior communities will allow people from outside their community to join their team.
Sure.
It only, to keep that connection with the community. So it really brought the community together.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
I've seen some of the videos online. I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, they are into it.
And
like,
they were
big time.
posting on Facebook. We had the Colonel, who's like 96 years old, and he's like, I'm going to bust mine to break theirs. And then I have a picture of him with the medals on it. Like, he did it.
He did it.
He said it, so it happened.
He delivered.
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing. And I feel like it's like such a great purpose too, and it gets everybody out being healthy. all together. It's like that camaraderie, and it's you don't need anything to go outside and walk and run and just be involved. There's no barrier to doing this.
There is no barrier to it. And honestly, the connections that they made are lasting connections, and isolation for seniors is a real big thing. It's, and so I found that to be very, very powerful for them. And they're all like looking forward to it. I did the post-event survey, and they were like, yes, that was the best. We had a 92-year-old that did, a man who did every single event, 7 different events, and took first place. And everybody's like, well, was he the only one? No. There were a lot of 90-year-olds. The biggest group.
See the skepticism? That's the competitive.
I know.
They're like, no,
he must have been the only one.
Had to be the only one in the group.
Even in the 100-year-old category, I had 3 women.
Oh my gosh.
Like it wasn't like, and I had a couple guys.
Yeah.
And so he took every single event and got first place in gold.
That is
Shout out to Steve Ducati because he killed it. And then we had another 74-year-old or 75-year-old, and he did the same thing, Manny Bueno.
That is so cool.
How cool is that, right? And
it
nationally, so nationally, they got first place, and that's what I told them. You go back and you talk to your grandkids and say, what'd you do today? Because Grandpa got 10 medals.
Yeah.
See
these?
Oh, this old thing?
All my hardware. His grandkids need to build him like a little shelf to hold all his medals. Yeah. That is so cute.
So they have everything they need, including support. We've got lots of great volunteers that'll come out and help it go off. We, like I said, provide the step and repeat so they can get their pictures taken with their medals and posting, and
so cool.
I know.
I've never heard of anything like this.
There is nothing.
I was going to say, like,
we got the Senior Olympics, but that doesn't take somebody from a couch to a run.
Correct. And I feel like Senior Olympics, maybe there's more barrier there because
you have to go to the place. And that, we thought about going back to the full track event, now that things have calmed down a little bit. And I said, you know what? We got more people to participate because we were on their property.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, 400 meters around a lake and a beautiful property looks a lot nicer than 400 meters on a track.
I would agree.
It was a lot less daunting, I think.
And they don't have to go anywhere.
Yes.
You just do it
and
right there.
And then all the friends come out, at one of all of the communities. Anybody who wasn't in it still came down. They went to the expo center.
Cheered.
They cheered. They got free stuff at the expo center and cheered and sang and danced. And
so amazing. Yeah. How long did you have this idea before?
About 15 minutes. So
Linda, she's a lady. She's a lady of results.
Everything happens by accident. I was running a HIIT class at a senior living community, and everybody's like, HIIT class? They can't do a HIIT class. I had 18 people in my HIIT class, and we were pounding it. It was not like, I invited my nephew who was doing photography at the time, come in and take pictures. I need pictures. He's like, Aunt Linda, like, oh my God, they were doing squat kicks and knee drivers. And so I said, that's the team I said to, hey, do you guys want to do 5K? And we ended up doing a 5K, all 18 of us. We were the oldest demographic.
I love it.
And that's when we came up on the way back from that event. They were like, oh, we would like something different. We would like something that's just senior centric. They didn't want to see young chippies whipping by them, 4 times, lapping them.
And no way.
Yeah, so.
And, I think that's so important too, because I feel like, here we are in like 2023, and like the senior population, they're not the senior population like when I was a kid.
No.
Like I think back to like my grandmother, and there's no way she would, it's just different. And I think that a lot of that has to do with just mindset, but also education.
Yes,
and
education is key.
Yeah, and it's an amazing thing because it is, as the numbers tell, at your list of all of your 100 plus, it's giving longevity to people's lives that maybe in generations past wouldn't have been there.
No,
so it's
the
pretty cool.
mindset is very different. And the baby boomers are coming up, and they're used to like Jane Fonda. I always say senior communities better up their game. They better have meditation, mindfulness, and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because if I ever end up in a place, because I am 59, but somewhere down in my hundreds, if I end up, I'm still going to want this life.
Yeah.
I'm still going to want meditation and exercise and robust. And it's not grandma exercise. It's like serious freaking exercise.
I mean, like HIIT class stuff.
HIIT class, like make it happen. Yeah, no, it's very powerful. And actually, they've done studies on HIIT training for seniors. Takes 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You do 30 seconds on, a minute off, or 45 seconds off. You do 3 rounds of each exercise. You do 4 exercises. Bam, you're out. And the change is it's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't need 60 minutes on a treadmill doing the dreadmill.
The treadmill.
Get out there.
I like that.
Because there's a lot that you get from just being outside.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. Like, you know, we have the advantage of living in beautiful weather year round, which is why my parents moved down here. We are from Chicago originally, and at a certain point they were like, no, we're done with this. Yeah, so they moved down, and that is like an awesome benefit to be able to do that. So why not get out walk and train and win a medal?
Purpose, you know, when purpose. I don't exercise the same way if I'm training for a 5K or something. I'm going to train differently when I go out. I'm not going to just do that.
Yeah.
So having that to look forward to.
Yeah.
And now they've all had a taste of it, and they've had the taste of victory. And I'm
They're
happy
out
to
for
say,
it.
I know. I'm happy to say we had ALFs, and we had like a mishmash of all different kinds of seniors. And
which is really cool.
Areas. Yeah, because we had the walker division, we had the wheelchair division, and we even have a power chair.
We didn't even talk about this. Let's back this up. Okay, because thank you for bringing that up, because I also saw this on your website and I was like, that is genius. So let's talk about that, all the different divisions.
Yeah, so we have a wheelchair division if you're self-propelled, and if you're using an assistive device, whether it's a walker or a cane, you'll be in a separate division.
Gotcha.
Some of the athletes are like, well, when they use a walker, they can walk faster, and I'm like, all right, they're not even in your division.
Yeah,
like, just
don't
go
worry about it.
Go do your thing. And then we had this sweet man at one of the local senior communities here, and he was in a power chair, and he goes, well, first year I did, I had a daughter call me up and she's like, Linda, I don't want my mother to do that race. And I said, why? I don't think she can do it. And I said, well, how do you know? And she said, well, you know, because she's older. And I said, yeah, okay, I'm going to send you some videos. I had some 80-year-old guy, 86-year-old man, a video of him hopping over hurdles, and then Hurricane Hawkins doing everything.
Gosh.
I said, we don't know until we try. And I would never want to tell your mother that she couldn't try.
Correct.
You don't want to do that, because then that's just the lay down and done. So yeah, I'm really excited of all the other perks that I got.
That's amazing.
From that.
That's so cool. What else can so let's talk a little bit too about, I mean, I know your background is in health and wellness.
My favorite topic.
Oh, your favorite topic. So, you know, as far as the senior set goes, what kind of trends are you seeing that, you know, are helping them, or things that they can do to just on a minimal level, just stay fit and healthy, mentally and physically?
You know,
important.
Some people think, oh, I have to go to a gym. I hate the gym. I get that, because I hate the gym too.
Yes.
I go out for a run or a walk. There's so much that you can do in your home. As a matter of fact, the company, my paying job that I run, I'll give people, if they want to write to me at Wisdom Warrior Challenge, I will send them an ebook that will show them things that you can do just in your house.
Right.
Like, instead of sitting for 4 hours and binge watching, which happened a lot during 2020.
I'm sure.
People were like, oh, did you watch that? No. I'm afraid my turn. Just one more.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were sitting for
Netflix.
extended period of time. You lose a lot of strength in sitting, and you need power to go up.
Sure.
So I'd say, okay, that's fine. You can sit and watch your thing. But every commercial, but it doesn't work for Netflix, so I had to set a timer.
Yes.
Every 15 minutes, hour, whatever, you have to stand up and do 5 sit-to-stands. No hands. You just power up. And I want you to yell, power up, when you do it. Just to touch your bottom and pop back up, and do 5 of those. When you're brushing your teeth, I want you to stand on one foot. When you're doing the dishes, or you're emptying the dishwasher, do a full squat.
Yeah.
Because the only reason why people can't do squats as they get older, because they stop.
Right.
I mean, I've seen 95-year-old women just squat down, practically
back
bottom touching, doing the weeding, and stand back up. And people can do all kinds of things, but they have to keep doing it. That's it, right? We're not able to.
Yes.
Yes.
There can be a lot of loneliness, and you know, and that can lead to a whole host of other things. And That's why I thought, I'm like, when I was reading about this, I'm like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me so excited. I don't know. We need to get the word out on this. I don't know how we
do.
I have not heard about this, but this is amazing.
Yeah, we kind of flew under the radar for 2023, trying to figure out all the kinks and everything. And now that we're busting out of state lines, it should get very interesting.
This is so cool. I mean, okay, so how many, the first year you had how many?
I had 6 signed up, but then COVID hit, so they dropped.
Okay.
And so I ended up with 3, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I have 5 people, I'm going to run this race.
Right, which you did.
And then this year we had over 1,000.
I mean, that is like
that's a lot. That's like
a huge
that's
jump.
for growth. I don't know if I was doing controlled growth at that point.
That's a lot of zeros in the percentage.
Yeah,
of
and it
growth.
costs quite a bit to do it. I mean, just to have the timing company alone at every single event, because some of them said, "Well, how do we know they weren't lying?"
Right.
I'm like, "Really? This is where we're going with
Yes.
this?" Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because the Wisdom Cup. So the Wisdom Cup, which I mentioned earlier, is this big cup, and then on the side it has all these spaces. You get your company name or your group, your team name gets put on the side as a winner for that year, and you hold it for the year, and then you bring it back.
That's
somebody
so
else,
cool.
I know.
It's like the Stanley Cup.
Anybody who has it, La Posada has it right now for 2nd year in a row.
Where are they at?
La Posada's right here in Palm Beach Gardens.
Oh, in Gardens. Okay, perfect.
So they have it right now.
Oh my gosh, what if we have to send that thing across state lines?
It's okay. I actually flew up to North Carolina. I was so excited that North Carolina joined us this year that I used my points and I flew myself up there and I went and did the presentation, and they had an incredible group. That group, one of those groups won 3rd place. But they were just all up in it.
Yeah, well, and I'm not surprised that North Carolina is on board, because also one of the retiree hotspots. So I could see Florida followed very closely by North Carolina. I think there's a big market there too.
I think I'm getting Minnesota this week.
You really?
Yeah, I think I'm getting Minnesota this week. I was visiting my sister who lives in an ALF, and I was like,
You're like,
I need to talk to them, because she's already done it before. And you know what? What's the deal? It's free.
That's what I'm saying.
I give you everything you need, all the support.
Who would say no?
I don't know.
Or why would you say no?
I don't know. I haven't even put it out there yet. I have it set for next Tuesday. Next Tuesday I'm going to send out to the communities that I have not reached out to yet, because I already have so many. I'm like, I have to cap it at 40, because I'm responsible for getting every single dollar to cover the medals, the T-shirts, the timing company, posters and everything. So I have to make sure I can do it.
Is that the goal? The goal is 40 teams.
40 teams. 40 teams, they can have up to 100 people.
Wow.
I know.
Can you imagine?
I know, right? We go from 1,000, 4,000. I don't know. It's absolutely possible.
Okay, we're going to have Linda back here after this event, and we're going to see, like, what something tells me, like,
it's going to be.
I think she's going to fill it. So anything else you want us to know about this? Because I'm going to be following closely. I want everyone to at least follow along on Facebook, because the videos are the participants, like, their videos, they're like the best people. They're so sweet and like just entertaining and all the things that you would think would come along with a very competitive senior crowd.
Yeah, I want people to see seniors in a totally different way.
Which I did, just looking at the website and everything else. So I hope to have you back and we do a recap and
I would love to do that.
See how this goes. Tell me about the okay, so we're gonna get all 40 teams signed up. They're gonna do their events, and then what happens?
Okay. Thank you.
This is the fun thing.
So they have their individual awards, and then we do the national award, and that is where I announce 1st through 6th place nationally.
Okay.
And
out of everybody.
Out of everybody. We go on a live virtual call, so all the teams are on, and we have some speakers and different things, and usually AARP likes to get on there and go, because they're always, this is their big thing, like changing the narrative around aging. And then we announce the winner of the Wisdom Cup. So we do 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place.
So exciting.
We're adding a few more categories, because we have some memory carers that want to join us, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I want those people to get out.
That's wonderful,
Yeah. And they usually enjoy it. They enjoy the heck out of it. And so we'll have the memory care division, the ALF division, and the just the senior, 55 plus and senior communities, and independent free living adults.
Got you.
Yeah, and so we do that and announce it, and then I get to take a break for a month or 2, and then I got to start building up sponsorship again.
Then we're gonna look for 80 teams the next way.
Yeah. I'm gonna need This year I actually had to hire people to help me with the PR stuff. I'm like, oh gosh.
I was going to say, I pretty quickly, I mean, again, like all the nonprofits that I have on here, like talking about this, it's usually like, you know, you just keep paddling and you figure it out. And, you know, there's so many like wonderful people just in our community and here that just want to do good stuff. So that's the benefit, especially in Palm Beach County. So, I think this is awesome.
Thank you.
I am
do too. It's my baby.
like so proud of you too. Like AARP is just on board. Like,
I know. They actually said
really
in their sponsorship video that I got them into places they weren't and helped brand awareness. I'm like,
yeah, little old me.
Little old me. Are you sure?
I think that's amazing. And, you know, I love a good woman-owned story too. So I'm very, very proud of you. I cannot wait to like watch this and send this on. And anyone that's watching, if you have parents in communities anywhere, because we're national now.
Yeah.
So,
and it's March and April. We did do the 2 months because April was pretty hot last year.
Yeah.
But it can also be done inside. If the building that they live in is big enough, we can make a track on the inside. We've done it.
Okay, well, Minnesota, we're looking at you. Minnesota, we're looking at you. You might need the inside track depending on how the weather is there. But anything else you want to leave our viewers with?
No, I just come out and support them. They'll be posted the dates, and there are a lot of local ones.
Yeah.
You can always use cheerleader volunteers. It does something special to you if you've ever done the 5K and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm dying here, and all of a sudden you hear cheering,
right at the end,
and it does that thing to you. Well, it's the same for them. So just
so
come
cool.
out, volunteer, sponsor. Just give me a call. I can find a place for you.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to put Linda's information up at the end too, so you know how to find her and where to find her if you want to be involved. I think this is so cool.
Thank you.
I love the senior community, just the best people ever. And again, like Linda said, really changing the stigma and the expectations that people might have about, what seniors are capable of, because it's not the same.
It's not real.
It's not.
What's real is what you're seeing.
Absolutely, which is really cool. So I would love to see so many communities involved in this, because I think it's really cool. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
This is awesome. And I have no doubt we'll probably have Linda back on here again after this event, and we'll get a recap on all the fun stuff that they're doing. So follow them on all of their social. And thank you for following along again with 501c TV. And we'll see you on the next episode. And a special thank you again to Kana House Studios, Wellington's first and only social content creation studio. We thank them always for their services. So thank you. Bye-bye.